Welcome, everyone, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim Zahner with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau. What a week. What a week. I didn't do the podcast last week. You're like, Tim, why didn't you do the podcast last week? I know you were crying, listeners, but here's the deal. First of all, last week started off with National Travel and Tourism Week proclamation. There were many whereases and therefores. We went to Sonoma City Hall. We got a proclamation. Councilmember Jack Ding, he read it out. Great guy. Mayor Wellander stood there. I got my photo. I got my little plaque. It's like, hey, National Travel and Tourism Week. Let's celebrate that because it's such a huge part of our local economy. It's very important to people here. And it's really a big part of the United States and California economy. A lot of people work in hospitality. Okay, so then the next day or 2 days later, we're like, hey, let's do an open house at our visitor center. And because we haven't been there for longer than a year and it's the official opening, let's do a ribbon cutting. So talk to my friend Mark. He's at the chamber. Chambers, as you know, have really big scissors and they have ribbons. So we did a big ribbon cutting and there were more whereases and therefores and proclamations from Congress people and county people and California State Assembly people. It was wonderful. Had that big open house, had a good time, had food and stuff like that. Whew, that's over. Well, then we're like, wait, let's keep going. 2 days ago, it was Bike to Work Day here in Sonoma. We're like, let's do the Energizer Station. We have 100 cups of coffee. We have power pellets, donuts for cyclists. We have treats. This is even some healthy food because Sonoma Valley Hospital helped us out. And we're right there in front of the visitor center, people riding their bikes and coming up and saying this is really cool. At the same time, I've spoken about these people before. The Camino de Sonoma was kicking off. So these people are getting out of their cars, in their backpacks, and their gear. And we're like, whoa, what are you guys doing? Because that's how we say stuff. Like, whoa, what are you guys doing? and they say, oh, we're doing the Camino de Sonoma. And I said, oh my gosh, I've been trying to email you guys the longest time. We connect. We find out these people are going to come and do 6 stages to walk from the city of Sonoma all the way to the Sonoma coast to Jenner. And they said they're going to come back on the podcast. And it was this crazy moment where I'm like, wow, this is the best part about Sonoma is the different parts of our community all come together and they interact and they talk and people literally from all walks of life who are walking really come together in Sonoma. And that's the essence of who we are, is that we celebrate community. And because of that, today I have a very special guest. Now, I know I say every week I have a very special guest. This time I do actually mean it. I've been chasing her for a while, which is appropriate. She's so hard to get a hold of because her name is Kat, and it's Kat Smith with the Sonoma Community Center. Kat, how you doing?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you like my dress?
I love your dress. And for people who aren't watching, it's the Scream. It's the Scream dress. It's the scary mask.
Ghost face, yeah.
Ghost face from that movie Scream. Why are you wearing that dress?
Well, I wore it because you told me we would be on camera.
That's right.
And you said, dress up for it.
Yes.
So I did.
Good.
But the funny thing is, I've been walking around in this all day at the community center.
Good.
Not one word. Not one
No
word.
one batted an eye.
Not Jerome the mailman. Not
No.
the FedEx guy.
Nothing.
Not Meg from Ceramics. Nobody noticed.
They didn't notice, or they're like they didn't.
Or
were
they didn't want to
nonplussed.
say.
Maybe they were like, "Is she having a bad day?"
Do they just think this is me now? I'm just not sure.
Kat, I have to say this. I have to confess something. You are one of the more stylish people in Sonoma.
Oh, why, thank you.
So I think you got like your cool look going in your hair. I am kind of colorblind, but I think it's kind of reddish right now.
It is, yeah.
And you've always got a look going. So I think for some people, they're like, "Oh, of course, Kat's
just
just
Kat.
doing Halloween goth in summer,
In May.
yeah, early or late spring or whatever." So that's what it could be.
It could be.
But the Sonoma Community Center, and I'm sure we're going to get to it, but you're wearing the dress.
Right.
It's got, what's the name of the clown?
Ghost face.
Ghost face, which is
Ghost
like a
I
scary
did.
ghost face.
I brought the mask, but I'm not going to wear it.
You're not going to, people will instantly recognize it. Anyone that's been to Halloween. Why is the community center so a part of this? Like what happened there that you are wearing this? Does it have to do with work or something?
They used the Sonoma Community Center for Woodsboro High in the movie Scream, 1996. So next month marks 30 years since they filmed on our location.
30 years? Stop
30
that.
years.
Stop.
30 years.
No.
Yeah, you want to feel old? 30 years. 30 years.
Thanks, Kat.
You're welcome.
That's great. It's been 30 years?
Yeah, December 1996 is when the movie released. So in December, it'll be 30 years since the first film came out.
I know.
Yeah.
And the whole film, for those who aren't familiar with it, it took the tropes of 80s, late 70s through 80s and mid 90s horror movies, kind of turned them on their head, kind of made fun of it, but was also a really good kind of scary style, funny movie.
Right.
Written by Wes Craven, I believe.
Not Wes Craven. Kevin Williamson. Wes Craven directed it.
Directed it, sorry. Okay.
And he only wanted to direct it if he could film in Sonoma County. Well, he wanted to be in California specifically, but then once he set his sights on Santa Rosa High School, dream location, he wanted it.
That's a great high school.
They originally said yes.
And it worked out, didn't it? They filmed everything.
That's why we're Woodsboro High. Hello.
Wait, you mean to tell me there's not a secret Easter egg in the credits?
There is an Easter egg in the credits.
So he was going to film at Santa Rosa High School, which is a classic-looking high school.
Right.
Right next to Santa Rosa Junior College. Very brick and oaky.
It's really beautiful.
Pastoral kind of looking. And they said, yes?
Well, originally the principal said yes. They went around looking at all the locations they would film.
Okay.
And then the school board caught wind.
The old school board.
And somehow they got the script. I guess they voluntarily gave it up. I'm not sure. But once they realized the content of the film, which they couldn't say no legally based on the content of the script, but they made it very clear that that's why. And so then there were people protesting, parents showing up, kids showing up for it, parents against it, just this whole mess of things. And they lost time on filming, and they were looking for other locations, and he wasn't happy with any of them. In the meantime, they filmed on a soundstage. They filmed the principal scene and shot the lunchtime scene in Healdsburg as opposed to at the school. Yeah. And the bathroom scene they also did on a soundstage. So after all of that hullabaloo and all the time has passed, they're behind schedule. They now have to pay more money, and they came to the community center a second time because they were turned down originally because there were a lot of tenants at the time. There was a Montessori school, and there were some other things in the building at the time. We still have a Montessori school.
Displace the 3-year-olds.
We had to displace a bunch of kids.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't there yet. I was in San Diego. But so the second time they came around, they offered more money.
Okay.
The community center pushed for it, and they rehoused people for just a couple days and took over, and we became Woodsboro High. And it's fun because if you listen to the director's cut on the DVD, he talks about how much more he loves the location now that he filmed there. So,
and it's great. I mean, it's right. The community center is an old school.
Yeah.
Right. Was it elementary school or middle school?
It was the Sonoma Grammar School.
Grammar School. Okay.
Opened in 1916.
So back in the day when school was just school.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, there was no differentiation.
No, it was just
You're
school.
either working in the field or at school. And mom and pa would let you go, but you better be back and milk the cow. Yeah. So it's a classic looking building. It's very close to the street, so you can walk up and just see the whole thing right there.
And we've got that amazing, the double pillars in the front facade on either side, and it's just beautiful. Yeah. Neoclassical, I think they call it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Welcome to Architecture Talk.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's why you're wearing this green outfit. And you guys do every year, or almost every year.
Every year. Well, this will be the third annual. So,
Okay. So
we're going with every year.
You do every year for 3 years. Almost.
Every year for 3 years.
You do a screening of it.
Yes.
In the Andrews Hall?
Yes. Okay. October 30th, the night before Halloween every year.
Got it.
But this year we have the whole weekend of Halloween weekend.
Halloween on a weekend?
So we're thinking of adding in a couple extra special things for the Screamers, which, by the way, is what we call the fans that come into the center constantly, because we get fans, movie fans, all the time.
Called the Screamers.
We call them lovingly. We call them the Screamers.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's okay. And I like this because we do like to make a big deal about it at the visitor center and tell people about it. And it's a little bit of our film history. And there are a lot of movies filmed in and around Sonoma Valley, but that one's definitely in the public consciousness.
Well, it's cool, too, because, like, the banister from the one scene between Sidney and Billy Loomis, when they're talking about he was arrested last night and he shows his fingerprints, that banister is still there.
Yeah, you go up to
the front of the center still looks the same, different landscaping.
Yeah,
the dance side, So there's things in there that still look exactly the same.
Do people ever act out the scenes like
they sure do. They sure
and
do.
You're like, I'm just trying to go to the bathroom, guys. Excuse me. So they do that. Okay.
They do that.
So it's interesting that other people have the same bad idea that I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good to know. Well, when the community center is not the backdrop for people, recreating Scream, What is the community center?
Well, the community center opened as a community center in 1952 when the building was donated for that purpose.
Oh,
And we're an arts and cultural center. We have very affordable rental spaces. We are home to a few other nonprofits, like KHR Foundation is there. The Sonoma Mentoring Alliance is there. Like I said, we still have a Montessori school in the building. Yeah, we have professional artists and professional chefs that teach classes.
you do. You
Yeah.
have a really amazing teaching kitchen, and you also have a really high-class ceramic studio.
High class.
Which is
yes.
really odd. I'm not odd, but when I see the level of work that is going on back there and the professionalism, it's like you said, it's next to the Montessori school.
Yeah.
And the kids reenacting Scream on
Right.
TikTok.
Yes.
But you have a kiln and everything like back there.
We have several kilns.
Okay.
Yeah. We have what we call the glaze barn, which is a whole other building behind the
Yes.
center. There's a classroom with wheels and areas for hand building, but then there's also a member studio upstairs with more wheels and more tables for hand building.
Okay.
So, and we get people from Napa and all around the Bay Area because we're one of the only places like this around.
Yeah, like a public place to come and do it. Do you, what do they call it? Do you throw clay? What's the word they use?
Throw, that's on the wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet.
Okay.
I'm tempted,
are you a
but it's
ceramicist
also,
person?
it looks really messy. But
Yeah. Well, that was,
I've taken lots of the hand building classes and they're really fun.
what does that mean?
That just means that instead of using the wheel, I don't know if they could see me acting this out at home,
People
but
can't, yeah.
yeah, it's more like pinch pots, building things
Oh,
with your fingers,
so like what I do
or
when I build
creating
snakes.
little creatures,
Snakes
or
and
building
snails.
mugs.
That's
Yeah,
what I do.
Yes.
That's as far as I got.
yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. And then you put them in the kiln? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But don't ask me the process. There's things like they have to dry for a certain amount of time, and then there's glazing and other things, and I am not
The
knowledgeable.
cool thing is you have professional teachers
Exactly.
that can do that.
Yes.
And if you don't want to do that, like you said, you can take a culinary class.
Yeah.
And Gerardo's there. He teaches really cool classes. And there's
Yes,
different teachers
yeah.
that come in. If you don't want to do that, there's like ballet classes or dance classes or,
Yeah.
or jazzercise.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. I'm
We've
just making
got
up
like
words.
flamenco, salsa,
Oh, wow.
swing, line dancing. Line dancing is the big one.
Okay, here, real quick trend alert. Trend alert.
Yes.
I'm hereby declaring the floppy hatted girl is no longer part of Sonoma.
No?
It's now the cowgirl boot girl is around. I'm seeing a lot of cowgirl boots
Okay.
around the plaza. Now, looking at me in my Costco shirt, I am the height of fashion. I buy them 5 at a time. However, we've noticed fewer floppy hat girls,
Yep.
more cowboy.
I will
cowgirl
say,
girls. So that might be, line dancing might be the thing.
right. Oh, yes.
That's my
Perfect
thing.
for line dancing.
Yes.
Yes. That could be the reason why.
I don't know if it's the naturalization of the rest of the world, but I'm seeing a lot of cowboy boots or cowgirl. How come they call them cowboy boots, not cowgirl boots?
I don't know.
Do we need to gender our boots?
Yeah.
Western style boots?
Western boots.
Western boots. Roping boots. No, it might be
Horse
a
riding
Horse.
boots. I
But
don't
if you're on a
have.
pony, it totally
Ranch
changes.
boots.
Ranch boots.
I don't
These
think
are-
we're wearing this.
I don't. This has been Talking Shoes with Tim and Kat.
Shoes.
Kat, tell me, what was your journey to working at the community center? Where are you from?
Well, I grew up here, born
Sonoma.
in San Francisco, came here in the 4th grade.
Okay.
And my father worked at the hospital since 1980 through, he just retired
Really?
a year or two ago. Yeah. Yeah.
He was in the medical arts.
He was a phlebotomist.
He
was a
I was
senior
gonna guess-
scientist.
I was going to guess phlebotomist. I thought he was. So he drew blood.
He started out drawing blood.
Your dad's a vampire.
That's what I always said growing up. Yes, may have shaped how I became.
Really?
But yeah, he was a senior scientist in the lab department, and he retired recently, and he loved it though. Like everywhere we lived in town, he could walk to work.
Yeah.
And that was a big draw for him. And so I was here, went to Sasserini, went to Altamira, went to Sonoma Valley High School, graduated in '89.
Go Dragons.
Go Dragons! Yes.
Wonderful to
Now I have dragons too, and that's very exciting
you have
for
kids
me.
who are dragons.
Yes,
Very good.
yeah.
Very good.
Their father went to Redwood High, so he was a tree.
We won't talk
We're
about
dragons. Dragons are cooler.
it. Where's Redwood? Is that over in?
Redwood High School's in Marin.
Oh, in Marin. Okay, I was gonna say, they have redwoods there, but
Yeah.
So they really were the red.
Dragons are cooler.
Dragons are much cooler.
Yeah.
Although we have talked about in this podcast that the actual dragon that's currently on campus in the parking lot, it's kind of a weird looking dragon.
It sure is.
Okay, good.
It's not the kind of dragon we had there. It's art.
It's art. It's an artistic dragon, and we like art here.
Exactly.
But the first time I went there for a basketball tournament, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a dragon. It's sort of like a variation on a theme.
yeah.
You know, I get it. Maybe the person was like, I'm going to go back to the ceramics class.
Right.
At the community center.
And retry this.
And just do it again. All right, so you went to Sonoma Valley High, go Dragons.
Yes, yeah.
And then where'd you end up going? What'd you do?
93 to 98, 99-ish. I lived in San Diego.
Okay.
And when I went down there starting a photography major at Santa Rosa Junior College, which had a fantastic program and just state-of-the-art dark room and all the things. And when I got to San Diego, I decided to face a fear I had from the Sonoma Valley Boys and Girls Club, although I think at the time it was just the boys club, but they were letting girls in, evolution of things.
Right.
But they had a talent show, and I was in the 8th grade, and I did a dance to Madonna's Material Girl, and I got up, and the spotlight hit me like a couple minutes in, and I froze.
Oh.
So I got off stage. I went backstage. I knew it perfectly. Did it again. I said, let me try again. So I did it again. Got just a tiny bit further. Froze again.
Really?
So then I went backstage. I did it. I said, please let me do one more time. And they said, okay. And I froze again. And like my best friend at the time, her grandfather, to his dying day, brought that up every time I saw him. You just froze in the lights. What's wrong with you? Like, hello?
Aren't you the girl that can't dance to Material Girl?
That's you. That's you.
Wait a minute. I remember you. Really?
So that gave me horrible stage fright. Yeah. So while we were down in San Diego, and I don't know many people because we've barely been there, I decided to take an introduction to theater class with my mentor, Lyman Seville, who's no longer with us either. Okay. But the very first day, we randomly matched up with partners. We drew a name out of a hat. That was your partner. We drew a scenario out of a hat. That was what you had to get up and do.
Right.
We got up there. I had them rolling in the aisle. I was paired with like an 80-year-old man who was retired and just looking to do something fun and interesting. And then me, I'm 21 at best.
Okay.
And we're shopping for an air conditioner, and that's the story. And I could hear the teacher of the class just rolling in the aisles every time I spoke. And I was like, this is kind of fun.
Right.
Maybe I'm over this thing. And then I became a theater major.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's... Okay.
So I went from total stage fright to, hey, I'm going to star in this show.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You conquered your fear by facing it directly.
Yep.
And the secret was to take a class with an 80-year-old man and shop
Exactly.
For
That's all it takes. Just listen to me, people.
That's the answer. So you were going there studying theater?
Yeah.
Down in San Diego for college then?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not... Okay. And you went down there for college?
Well, no. I went down there because we were living with some Navy boys who were stationed in Vallejo, and we were sharing an apartment with them, me and the same best friend.
Okay.
And their submarine got transferred to San Diego. So all of a sudden, all of our roommates were leaving, and we're like,
Better follow them.
Well, what are we doing? Let's go.
For real?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. So they were on the submarine.
So we all relocated together.
That's pretty smart play. People who are on a submarine are gone for like 6
all
7
the time.
months.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're like, hey, keep paying the rent.
Yes, exactly.
I'll make sure everything's clean. Smart play. Smart
Thank
play.
you.
So San Diego's a cool town. I've heard of it.
Yes. And I after initially moving there with them, I stayed there the longest.
Okay.
I lived in Ocean Beach, which I considered to be Sonoma, but next to an ocean.
Yeah.
Because, they closed down. They have the giant farmer's market.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And were you at San Diego State?
I was not. I was at San Diego City College, which has...
I was going to say go Aztecs, but what's San Diego City College?
I don't know that we had a mascot.
Maybe it's the fish tacos.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was the crispy fish tacos were our mascot.
Just the right amount of crisp on the
Yeah.
fried cod
Yes.
or whatever it was. Okay, so you're down there in San Diego, and then what brought you back up here?
Well, I had a reason to move back.
Okay, great.
A horrible roommate.
Oh.
So I thought I was just going to come back for a short period of time, save up some money, and go find a new roommate down there. But I came back, and as a teenager, if you never lived anywhere other than Sonoma, and I can still see this, I hear the kids talking, and I know where they're coming from. You think this is the worst place on the planet. Like,
So
it's so boring.
There's nothing here.
Yeah, there's nothing here.
And all the food is totally fantastic.
So
and it's really
terrible.
pretty and the weather's
Yeah,
great.
I hate it.
So hard to be emo.
So gloomy, yeah. But what happened was, as an adult coming back, I was like, wow, we have art, we have music, we have all of this life, and it's beautiful. Like, just every time I leave town and I come up Broadway and I get that view of City Hall,
It's a great view.
like my heart stopped. I just gave myself goosebumps
the
talking
hill
about
behind
it.
you,
Yes,
and
the
then the mountain
hills,
behind that.
all of it.
And it's a great broad street, Broadway.
Yeah, Broadway.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love that
So-
view coming in the morning.
Yeah,
a good
yeah, I love it. Yeah. So I moved here, and initially thought I'm moving back. So I had kind of tunnel vision, didn't really connect with people right away, and then all of a sudden I started connecting with people,
Right.
and I was realizing how amazing Sonoma is, whether you live here or you're visiting here, and I also love that. I love all the tourists that come through here, because I don't know if you know this, I just like to talk to people.
I'm starting to get that.
So yes, I have friends here, but I'm always fascinated by the people who come through here, and I'll talk to them about anything. And then my sister started having babies, and I started helping taking care of them. And then all of a sudden, San Diego was just in the rear view, and I didn't go back.
And now here you are.
And now here I am.
And now you got kids in the high school.
I do.
That's what happens.
Isn't that crazy?
I said,
And now they want out of here because they're like, ugh, it's the worst.
it's so bad. I go to the
so
farmer's
bad.
market. I know everybody. And the food
I don't
is
want
so
to be
good.
seen. Ugh.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, huh? Mm-hmm. But there's that weird cycle. And
Yeah.
I think it's important when you're young to kind of not be happy with where you are.
Right.
So you can go on your
You have to.
your heroic
You have
journey.
to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't leave.
You don't get appreciation for other places.
Right.
And actually the place you live in sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the decisions you make. And if you come back, that's wonderful. But if you end up in San Diego living with someone in a submarine who's gone half the time eating fish tacos,
Even better. They pay the rent.
and you just go do yoga on the beach
Yeah.
in Oceanside. Where were you?
Ocean Cove.
Ocean Cove. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oceanside's a different animal down there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're at the community center.
Now I'm at the community center, which I love so much.
Okay, and what do you do there?
I am the director of marketing.
Oh,
So fancy.
so you talk to people about the community center.
do.
And you wear the
As I
outfits.
am now.
And I hear there's an event coming up in June. Should we talk about that?
We've got a couple. Yes.
Tell me about it.
Okay. So, inaugural Pride and Community Gallery.
Okay.
We have what's called the Causeway Gallery upstairs at the community center. It's in the upstairs hallway. It's dedicated space for art, so it has professional lighting and things. So when I say we hang things in the hallway, I don't mean it's just hanging there.
Right.
But it's called the Causeway Gallery because it's in the causeway, but also it's a causeway.
Look at you.
So we
Good job.
celebrate different causes in there. This time, Pride.
Gotcha.
And
Traditionally in June.
so we're celebrating for the month. We're going to kick off the art walk with the reception on June 4th. So it'll start at
So
Sonoma
you're
Community
starting.
Center.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And we've curated, so it's in partnership with Sonoma Valley Pride.
Okay.
So Matthew Long and I are working together. We've curated 8 artists, all queer artists from around the county. They're all fantastic. Every one of them more different than the other.
Okay, good.
So it's going to be a really cool show. There are going to be some surprises at the opening reception.
Okay, so show up.
Yes, one of them is an artist who's also a clothing designer, who's also a choreographer from Broadway. So put all that together and something might happen at
Really?
the opening reception.
Is
Yes.
this a person that's lived in Sonoma before and might come back?
Dylan Smith,
Oh, Dylan
who has
Smith.
done a lot with Transcendence Theater.
Okay, 'cause I was saying,
he's returned to the Bay Area again. So he's been in and out. I love that Transcendence people come
Yeah.
here and they're like, I'm going to stay.
Yeah.
So,
or
yeah.
like, I mean, you had Eric,
Yeah.
who worked in your fiber arts department, and he was like an amazing costumer, whatever. I don't know what he did.
done
at
all
Transcendence.
kinds of
He was also a
Oh,
performer,
well, yeah, he's director, performer,
Yeah.
singer, dancer.
and then would design the clothes, and then make them, or something. What do you know how to?
I'm
Like,
giving you my confused face because I'm
Maybe
not
not.
sure on that, but maybe because he did run a lot of
you know
things
what?
in fiber arts
you know
at
what?
the
It
community
could be
center.
that I
So
don't really know what fiber arts means. So I just assume they were doing stuff with scissors and
he
fabric.
did a lot with trashing. Like he took
Yeah, I
trashing
know.
next level. So
That's clothing,
that's
right?
ish.
I mean, made out of milk bottles. Trashing was cool this year. All right, so hold on.
It was cool this year.
You've got someone coming up. There might be a surprise performance during
Yes.
the
There's
art
going to be a
walk,
few little
which is the
entertainment
first
surprises.
Tuesday of the month.
First Thursday.
Thursday of the month.
Yes. I mean, do you represent Sonoma Valley here? I'm not sure.
I will tell you, there's so much going on, and I can't even.
I can't either. And because I'm marketing, I'm always thinking so many months in advance
Yes.
that somebody will say, "Hey, are you going to be there on Thursday?" And I will stop in my tracks. I don't know what Thursday is.
That's why, because I had another PR person just call me before, are you going to be at the preview for the thing?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what preview? What thing?
Is that tonight? Because I'm going to be at that thing.
And that's the question. Because then I'm like, is that tonight? That was my head.
Yeah.
And so, anyway.
Anyway.
All right. So up at the causeway, there's art. It's going on there. That'll kick off the
June 4th. And it'll run the whole month. So it'll close on June 30th. And we're also still working with Sonoma Valley Pride. When they do their all-day Sunday thing on the plaza, they're going to have a big stage up. There's going to be vendors.
Okay.
We're gonna put up 2 pop-ups and kind of make a little mini art gallery out there, so some of our artists can bring some other pieces they have. So
that's June 14th, Sunday, June 14th, from 2 to 5 p.m.
Yes. Are you sure that's the 14th?
God, I hope this is the right
Oh my
flyer.
goodness.
Well, I think.
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's a concert on Friday, a dance on Saturday, and Pride on Sunday.
14th.
It is the 14th. I've just got too many dates in my head.
The key to being a good marketing person is you don't have to remember anything. You just have to write it down.
Bring the flyers.
Bring
Yes.
the flyers. So so what I see right here, if I may,
You may.
actually, here's what
thank
I've noticed, that Sonoma Valley Pride is June 12th through the 14th.
Yes.
2026. Good. It's this year.
It's this year.
So Friday, June 12th, Rise with Pride concert and drag show at the Sebastiani. Saturday, June 13th, Pride dance party at the General's Daughter.
Which is very exciting.
And I haven't been in there in a long time, so I want to see what it looks like. It's a beautiful venue.
Yeah.
But it's been about 7 years since I've been in there, so we'll see what that looks like. And then Sunday, June 14th, what you mentioned, the big public
festival on the plaza.
Okay.
Focusing a lot this year on positivity and just communing together.
Positivity and community.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
So, yes, SonomaValleyPride.com or .org.
I believe it's SonomaValleyPride.com. .com. I will hold it up.
Yes, it is .com. Yes.
I'm going to put
they have all the details of that.
Yes. And then if you go to SonomaValleyPride.com.
Yes.
It's right there.
It's right
and then
there.
you don't need to rely on 2 people on a
Right.
podcast that's giving you bad information. But I do love the community center because it is a community center.
Yes.
Is part and the kickoff of the celebration.
Yes. Right. So Sonoma Valley Pride, we're partnering with them for the art show, and then we're partnering with Out in the Vineyard for our 3rd annual Pride dinner and drag event.
Got it.
Each year.
Good.
You want to see this? You can see this.
Do you need to refer to it as you talk?
I probably got it.
You got it all in there?
I got it.
I'll hold it up.
Okay.
I'll hold the camera.
This one's mine. This one I'm in charge of it, so I can remember things. Yes. Unlike the other one where I'm just helpful.
This is also in June.
Yes.
Go.
June 20th, Saturday, June 20th. It is he's pointing at the date. Okay. So this is the 3rd annual.
Okay.
We originally planned the first one not knowing whether or not we were going to continue to do it, just as a one-time event.
Okay.
Still partnered with Out in the Vineyard.
Okay.
We had this idea, what if we plan an evening around the film The Birdcage?
Okay.
We don't show the film. We just pick a different film every year and base
theme.
the entertainment and the food and the decorations around it.
Okay.
So the first year was The Birdcage. Last year was Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
This year is The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Queen of the Desert.
So
Australia.
we're doing Priscilla, Queen of the Center.
And will there be a big bus pulling up?
I wanted to do that, but no one on my team really feels like wrapping our van in pink, and I'm like, well, okay,
doing the whole
fine.
Thing and going to...
But we'll have some other fabulous decorations, and this year I can announce that. So Juliano Wade has been with us since the beginning. Fabulous entertainer out of San Francisco.
Oh, good.
He does fire dancing and sword dancing and belly dancing.
Whoa.
He performs in burlesque shows and all kinds of things.
Okay.
But he also puts together things like this.
Okay.
And he's bringing Cassidy LeBlanc, who is from San Francisco,
Okay.
and Johnny Nuriel, who is out of Portland, Oregon.
Ooh.
So we're bringing.
This is people
we're
from
coming far
away.
Yes.
For a big show.
Far away, yes. And so they've been working on their act. Can't wait to see what they do. Saturday, June 20th.
June 20th,
yes. And it takes place we do the Prohibition Spirits cocktail hour out in the Redwood Grove.
Okay.
And then we escort people over to the Secret Garden,
Okay.
where we have a stage set up with a curtain for them to enter through. DJ Star
So
J.
you're performing outside.
Yeah, out in the
this is
Secret
fun.
Garden.
Secret Garden.
It's amazing.
How is it a secret garden if you're telling people where it's at?
You know what? The more I talk about it, the less people seem to be able to find it. So there's something there.
It's magical.
It's a magical secret garden.
All right, so the whole performance is out there at the
Yes.
magical secret garden.
Mm-hmm. And it's the tables are all along it. So
I like
we
it.
serve the opening, and then there's a performance. We serve the main, then there's a performance. We serve the dessert, then there's a performance, and then they do a couple group numbers also, and then everybody comes up and dances at the end, and it's a lot of fun.
And I'd like to say the secret garden is an intimate, smaller venue. It's not a huge place, so this will be a really cool.
Yeah.
Every seat's probably a front seat. Like
Yes,
it's
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I save sponsors and VIPs right next to the stage, but there's no bad spot because I only have 11 tables back there, right? So
it's a small garden.
It's a small garden.
And that brings up the next point. Do people have to get tickets to go to this?
They sure do.
Okay, how
Please
do they do?
because it's sold out the last 2 years.
Oh, really?
So I'm hoping for a sellout again this year.
Okay.
They're easy to get. You just go to sonomacommunitycenter.org.
Okay.
And tickets are $150, but they include the cocktail hour, the performances, all the food, all the wine.
It's an entire night out.
It's an entire night out. Okay. Corner 103 provides all of our wine.
Good.
Lloyd's wonderful.
Good guy.
Hen House Brewing
Good beer.
gives us the beer. Yeah. We'll have a non-alcoholic option and a mocktail. And the food this year, I'm excited about this. We had caterers the last 2 years.
Okay.
This year, Sonoma Community Center's culinary department is catering it so that we can highlight our professional chefs.
I like that.
So the whole meal will be prepared
Okay.
by the head of the department, Chef G, we like to call him.
Okay.
Gerardo, you know him.
Yeah, got a podcast. Good guy.
Yeah. And then we have 2 professional bakers. I'm not going to name drop where they work, but it's a really fabulous bakery that a lot of people love out in Napa. One of them also has a home cottage business that she sells bread and other baked goods every other week. It's called Corner Bakehouse, and she is in Rincon Valley.
I love this. You're real.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm learning stuff.
Yeah.
There's a secret bakery in the secret garden. Go.
No, it's
Tell me
not
more.
a secret bakery in the secret garden.
Well, the secret garden in her bakery's in her house.
These 2 professional bakers, we got in a little bit of trouble because we bragged about where their other jobs are. Really? So I can't say where their other jobs are.
Do they make the buns for McDonald's?
Yes. How did you know?
Because you said Napa. I know there's a McDonald's in Napa when you go to town there. So that's.
No, they make the biscuits for KFC.
I knew it.
But this the bread baker, she also has her own cottage business out of Rincon Valley, which is Corner Bakehouse.
It's called Corner Bakehouse.
Mm-hmm.
In
You can follow her on Instagram.
Okay.
She posts wonderful pictures that will make you drool.
Okay.
She's making all of the bread.
Yes.
For the opening service.
Actually, you've actually just convinced me with like the secret carbohydrates that you're providing. Because I am in.
See?
I love baked goods.
Yeah, so it's going to be fresh, baked by our professional baker that teaches classes at the center.
Also, this person also teaches at the center.
Yes.
Also works at the McDonald's / KFC.
Right.
Or another restaurant in Napa.
Yes.
And also has the Corner Bakehouse.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Dang, this person's busy.
She's very busy. And she has a kid, so where's the time?
I don't know. A lot going on there.
Her name is Hien Pham.
Okay.
Pham. Yes. And so I think her next class coming up is going to be delectable buttery pie crusts. So look for that. She teaches different bread and
fantastic.
pie and things. Then we have another chef, a professional pastry chef, Leela Clement, who teaches classes at the center.
Okay.
And she recently, so our dessert is called a pavlova cup.
Oh, that's big. Well, because the film takes place
In Australia.
And this is an interesting thing. Both the Kiwis and the Australians fight over who invented the pavlova, supposedly.
Really?
That's a thing they do down there.
Okay.
Like they just loved it. That, the flat white,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
all this.
Meringue, the crunchy meringue, yes.
So you're doing a pavlova dessert.
So the dessert is pavlova, yes.
You don't get that much up here.
No. And she's making them for us, but then she also teaches people how to make them at the center. So that's pretty cool, I
I
think.
and okay, real quick. We're doing
Yes.
this quick. You guys do cooking classes.
We do.
And they're not like, here's how to do basic cooking, but there's that as well. But you have all sorts of different specialists that come in and teach
Right.
different ethnic cuisines, different types of cuisines. You mentioned baking. And that's just open to the public, right?
We have Ed from Sushi Motos who comes in and teaches sushi and other similar classes. We have the professional bakers who come in and do breads and desserts. Chef Maria Teresa Captivelli, she grew up, goodness, I think Italy and Spain. I'm probably getting that completely wrong, but she has this wonderful accent to listen
I
to while
believe
she's
you.
teaching
Yeah.
you, and she teaches all kinds of Italian dishes.
Oh, wow.
We have Chef Anthony Fontaine, who is from France, Normandy, France, and he teaches the very French things. Actually, I saw him. He's doing crepes out at Farmers Market, Tuesday night market. So
You got a crepe stand now?
I think so.
Fantastic.
Either that or he's doing his hot dog thing, which is also sort of crepe related, but he calls it a French hot dog.
What is the French hot dog?
You'll have to have him on the show and talk to him.
Well, better
He's
bring a
very
French hot dog.
colorful. You
Yeah.
will love him.
Okay, so it's a crepe-inspired hot dog or a hot
Yes,
dog-inspired
something
crepe.
like that. Yes.
And it's from Normandy, so it probably has
Yes.
like salmon and butter.
Who knows?
delicious.
He catered last year's dinner, which was an incredible feast for the eyes,
Right.
not just the stomach.
So these are regularly scheduled guests in your kitchen
Yes,
over there.
yeah.
To do these classes.
We rotate them through. They come through. They take turns, so maybe once a month, twice a month. Yeah, and they're all professionally chefing elsewhere.
Right.
So, they've got the skills, and usually you will all cook together and then sit down and eat after.
Okay.
So it's not even just cooking the class, and it's not a demonstration. Everybody's hands-on.
Right, you're getting the food. Mm-hmm. Kat, what's your favorite dish to make?
I don't know, but you know what? I really love taking the ravioli class. The
I've
ravioli
seen the
was
ravioli
really
class.
fun.
I've been walking by when it was on. I'm like, I should stick around.
Yeah.
I've never made ravioli, but I've certainly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I would definitely come at the end of that class and make sure the quality is up to my very exacting standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gerardo does a Mexican brunch class, which is always fun.
Okay.
You learn how to make tortillas.
Yeah.
And chorizo. Oh my gosh. And he's one of those where he's like, okay, so chorizo needs to sit for a couple days, right, to get all the flavors in there. So he makes a bunch of chorizo in advance so that we can eat it that day. And then you go home with the chorizo you made with him and let it sit for a couple days so that you get to enjoy it later.
Okay.
So I've done that with my kid. And that's the fun thing, too. A lot of them you can bring kids to,
Bring your
especially Chef G's classes.
they're family friendly.
Yeah.
Or
A
children.
lot of the fancier ones are adults only,
Right,
but
right.
a lot of his are family classes.
I
so.
love this. See, and that's going back to the center.
Yeah.
You guys have amazing wonders down every little nook and cranny over there.
We sure do.
And you didn't know you were artistic because you're like, well, I'm not really into Priscilla and dance and stuff like that. Like, okay, here's a cooking class. Do you like food?
Do you like food?
You don't like that? Here's this line dancing class.
Yeah.
And it really is all happening at the same time over there.
Yeah. You can learn to sew. You can work on our giant printing presses.
You have
We
big
screen print things.
You do screen printing?
Oh my gosh, did I bring you a present? I brought you a present.
You guys made that bag?
Ah.
So this is a farmer's market style canvas bag with a screen block print on it.
Yes. Printed in the classroom from Scream.
Really?
Room 208. I brought you that.
Oh,
That's
thank
for
you.
you.
So this is on the screen printing shop.
It's in the Scream. I say that all the time. Nobody lets me have it though.
Right here. I think it's hilarious.
I think so
That
too.
was good. You're a genius.
Yeah, I thank you.
I'm going to hold it up. This is what, thank you so much. I'm going to use this around town. And
Yeah,
when people say
so-
where I got it, I'm like, oh, Woodsboro High School, right
Yeah.
down the street.
You have to visit the center, otherwise
Gosh,
you can't
and
find them
you guys-
anywhere.
You guys sell these in the center? Mm-hmm. These are really
And they're
good.
limited edition. This is our third artist. We had Sydney Bolt did the first run.
Really cool.
Really cool design. We still have some of, don't blank the name, I wrote it down. Hillary Fitzgerald Campbell, who grew up here, but now she's a New Yorker cartoonist.
Oh.
So hers is a more cartoony style.
Gotcha.
That one is Sammy Ruiz, who is out of LA,
That's
who
a really,
just loves what we're doing and made
Yeah.
us a design. So amazing.
I mean, do any of the Scream actors, like, if I was in the movie, I would like, I want one of these.
I know.
Like Matthew
so fun,
Lillard
though.
or somebody like that, or
No, but and I've just blanked on his name, but the original ghost face stuntman,
Right.
the one in the original Mask that took out Drew Barrymore's
Right. On the
character.
beginning, yeah.
I've met him, and I brought him a bag, and he thought it was the coolest thing ever. And secret, because I don't know the date, secret, he may want to come out to Sonoma and do a little
Really?
picture session and get his
Okay.
photo in our building. So,
That would be cool.
yeah.
Pay attention to the community
Yes.
center website.
Yes.
Find out what's there. Okay, let's circle back real quick to are there anything else I forgot about with the Queen of the Center event?
Oh,
The Pride
yes.
event? Go.
There's a VIP option for
Tell-
Priscilla, Queen of the Center.
Oh, tell me more.
I will. So we're going to new this year because everything's included. So there was no way to like extra wine you this or so we came up with a couple fun things to make it extra special. The VI packages are for two.
Okay.
So they're $500, which
Okay.
just $200 more, not much.
Not much.
But with that, we are going to do shuttle stops around the valley.
Oh.
I'm planning on checking in with the hotels. Probably the easiest way to do it is a couple of the hotels. So round trip for that, get to the cocktail party, and then afterwards take you back.
Okay.
And you also get a meet and greet
Okay.
ahead of the show.
Okay.
We're going to take people from the cocktail hour, and they're going to get professional photos taken. But we also will have the cell phone helpers
Right.
because, everybody loves a cell phone.
People love their cell phone photos. It's true.
Selfies, yeah.
Do that. Okay.
So William Murray donates his time to come take photos for us, which is really lovely. Sonoma's life. So they'll get an album afterwards with all the pictures that they can download and share wherever they want to. And also they get, remember we were talking about close to the stage,
Right.
priority seating.
Yeah, right there
so
in the
they'll
front.
be the closest to the stage.
Okay. This will be
Closer
fun.
than the general admission.
And every ticket's great, but these ones are greater.
These ones are greater.
These are
yes.
the best tickets.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a VIP package for, again, Priscilla, Queen of the Center on Saturday, June 20th.
Right. Yes.
Got it.
And general admission is one ticket, but VIP is two.
Understood.
So-
Oh, VIP is for two
Yes.
people.
Yes.
Got it.
I know.
If they don't have someone to come with, can we do like a little matchmaker? Like we'll find someone?
Oh my gosh, I'm sure we can.
I think we can
We'll
do
just we'll do a drawing. I don't know. Stop by the Visitors Bureau, put your name in a
Yeah,
hat.
we'll find you somebody. Okay, you got a lot going on there.
We do
There's
all
always-
the time.
I mean, even though we're talking a bit about Pride in June and early summer, there's always something happening.
Always,
A
yeah.
lot of seasonal things happening. And then, like you said, there's drop-in classes, and there's also, you can come take series of classes if you live nearby.
There's very often weekend workshops, and so people traveling through town. There's lots of things just to drop in on. I organize comedy, stand-up comedy once in a while, so we've got that coming up.
Do you do the comedy yourself?
I do not, but my cousin Cody Smith of Smith Show Comedy,
Okay.
Sonoma County based, he comes and hosts it and puts
Really?
together the lineup for me.
Okay, at Andrews Hall as well.
Yes, yeah.
Not in the Secret Garden,
Not in the secret garden.
at Andrews Hall.
He prefers the stage and the lights and all the things.
Comedians. Look at
Right, they're so
them.
fussy.
You're like, come on, you started playing off in a corner of a church basement. You might
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
Gosh. All right, this is good. If people want more information about the community center, what's the website one more time?
SonomaCommunityCenter.org. And, my bit is just a small portion of what we do. So
Yeah.
everything is on the website.
All right there. And definitely a great resource, and people should check it out.
Yeah.
Kat, you don't get out of here without answering questions, right?
Okay, what are the questions?
Take a sip of your water.
I'm getting a sip of water.
I'll do my intro. Here, I'll take a sip of my coffee. I've got Equator coffee here, which is cold brew coffee.
Oh.
And Equator, it's over there. You don't drink coffee, you said.
I don't drink coffee.
I don't know if I can trust you then. Off second.
I drink a lot of caffeine, if that helps.
Really?
Yeah.
There's other ways to get caffeine
Diet
delivered.
soda.
Diet soda. Really? And you've never drank coffee? Like you weren't a coffee person?
Just didn't enjoy it.
It's not your jam.
No,
It's not for everybody.
it's not for everybody.
But if you want to talk real fast
Sure,
and have lots of dumb ideas,
that's the way to go.
coffee. Okay, so Equator Coffee, and they also we have the 100-cup coffee thing for that bike to work thing. So I said, okay, order coffee for people. Like, sure. And then she pulls out this massive Cambro. It's like this.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh. So I just gave away coffee all day.
Right.
It was kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good time. Okay, Kat Smith, here we go.
Okay, stretch it out. I'm ready.
Okay, Kat, as you know, we have two visitor centers, one at the Plaza, one down at Jacuzzi Family Winery. It's staffed by professionals and volunteers who are themselves fairly professional.
Yes.
And people come in, they call us, they text us, they ask us questions, they slide into our DMs. They even, like I said, you text us 707-996-1090. We'll answer your questions. Email info@sonomavalley.com. Write your question down on a piece of paper. Travel back in time to a fax machine. Put it in the fax machine.
Okay.
Send it to us. I don't know if we have a fax machine, but it doesn't matter. We'll answer your question. Here we go. The segment's called We Get Questions.
Wait. Can I just say how much I love the Visitors Bureau being in the Toscano Hotel?
That was actually the time I was going to ask you if you could say that.
Okay, wait.
Ready?
Go.
Hey, tell me what your feelings are about the Toscano Hotel.
Well, I love it because people used to have to look through that weird
the jail
jail cell doors to look inside.
Yeah.
And now, you just get to step into history.
You do.
So you're not only talking to you guys about everything going on in the valley, but you're in history. It's so cool.
There's a women's history room in the back of significant women and their stories. There's all sorts of great stories in the front. You can read all about it. They served. Now I'm going weird stories here. The menu, if you were a boarder there, every day was chicken and ravioli.
Wow.
That was my understanding. That was the meal that they always made. Because when you stayed there, you got a meal, right?
Right.
It's like, what's for dinner? No, it's chicken and ravioli.
Well, I guess they're travelers, though, so they're not going to get sick of it because there's new people each night.
Right.
It's just the people in the kitchen who are going to get bored.
Mom, what's for dinner again? The kid in the kitchen.
Chicken and
ravioli. But, yeah.
I hate Sonoma. I got to move out.
I'm going to San Diego.
I'm going to San Diego.
You better invent submarines so I can get a roommate. Okay. So, yeah, that's what happened. Okay, so I thank you for loving Toscano.
Yes.
And please come visit. You've been there a couple times, but it really is a great building.
It's so cool.
I enjoy
Yeah.
it. And it's absolutely 100% not haunted.
Yeah.
Here we go. First question.
Either is the community center.
And not at all. And there's not a secret tunnel
Not a
with
secret
weird, crazy Victorian baby ghosts underneath the plaza.
No, there's not.
Swear to God.
I don't believe you.
First question.
We all see you in the camera.
All right, here's the first question.
Okay.
What local Sonoma County wineries allow you to buy a bottle and enjoy it on property?
All of them.
That is boom. I think every winery, if you walk into a winery right now and say, "Can I buy a bottle?" they'll probably open it for you.
Yes. Go. Here's some glasses.
I would say almost every winery allows you to do that. I was trying to think if there's maybe like a licensing for some of the tasting rooms, but I believe if you're over 21,
Yes.
and obviously not
That is kind of a
inebriated,
rule.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then you can buy a bottle of wine and usually enjoy it. Anyone with a vineyard, go ahead and sit right here. We got some glasses. If you're lucky, it'll be branded glasses.
Right.
And because they're hoping you take a little photo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so almost every Sonoma Valley winery will allow you to do that. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And like I said, you grew up here, you know the wine business. So, did you have your babies here in Sonoma? Like, were they raised
So they're
there?
my stepdaughters.
Stepdaughters,
but
okay.
One of them was born not at Sonoma Valley Hospital just because there was a complication. But the other one was born here.
But you raised small people.
You want to know what the weirdest thing is?
What?
So I have a Josephine.
Right.
Chef Gerardo has a Josephine. They were both born at Sonoma Valley Hospital 1 day apart. And even weirder,
Go.
Gerardo and I, our birthdays are 1 day apart.
See?
See?
This is kind of eerie.
Yeah.
I swear to God, the community center is not haunted.
It's not haunted.
So JoJo and JoJo,
Yep.
Josephine and Josephine,
Yep.
are a day apart. And you're
So I've been with them since they were 5 and 7.
So here's my question. So you might know the answer to this question.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yes.
Or you might also know people who have babies.
But also I help raise my nieces.
Okay,
so baby
great.
babies, yes.
So
I
you know
got
babies.
it. Yes.
And you know babies do
know
two
babies.
things. Babies vomit and
Yes.
stuff comes out the other end. So here's this
true.
question. Here's this question.
Sometimes when you're in CVS and it's very unpleasant.
So here's the question. Hi, I need to change a stinky diaper. Are there any baby diaper changing stations on the plaza?
On the plaza?
On the plaza or around the plaza?
Well, there's bathrooms in the park.
You're right. Right there in the plaza.
Right there in the plaza.
There's there, and I think there's diaper changing stations there in both bathrooms. There's also almost every bathroom around the plaza has it.
Sonoma Community Center upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And downstairs.
Really?
Just upstairs.
Walk through the causeway. Do your little
Walk through the Causeway
do your
Gallery.
Scream interpretation.
Yes.
And there's a baby changing station, which actually turns out a baby changing station is actually a baby diaper changing station.
Oh.
It's the same baby when you come and go.
Right.
Baby doesn't change.
The baby doesn't. You're right. You are
Diaper
correct,
changes,
sir.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
so yeah, there is one. There's many around the plaza. Just walk around. Quickest way to find out where one is to hold a stinky baby out at arm's length and look panicked, and people will point.
I went to Mother's Day brunch at El Dorado kitchen and
Yeah.
saw a toddler heading in there. Thought she was home. She just started stripping all the way into the bathroom.
That's what happens when the kids have too many mimosas.
That's what happens. They said bottomless, so she did.
She's like, I take it.
Okay.
Okay, this one was from a hiker.
Okay.
And hopefully you maybe done some hiking or walking. They heard that there was a quarry that was in Sonoma, and they were hoping to see the remains of the quarry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wish my spouse Kevin was here because he would be able to tell you things
Is he
like that.
a quarry kind of guy?
He's a quarry kind of guy.
hangs
He's
around
a rock
all
guy.
quarries?
We have walls and walls of rocks.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
But
he
do you guys live in a hovel?
No, they're collections
Oh,
on
okay.
shelves.
I'm like, yes, we live underground.
We live underground.
So he collects rocks.
Yes. Yeah.
Like he goes on trips and comes back with rocks, or he buys rocks like those geodes?
No, he doesn't buy them. He goes hunting for that. He also loves to go for gold.
Oh,
He
he's a
also
rock
was an
hunter.
ab diver, so there's also
Oh.
shells and when we go to Hawaii, cowries. So we have
Yeah.
shells and rocks and all the
It
things.
sounds like you live with a raccoon.
I do.
Okay.
I live with 3 of them and a dog. It's the size of a cat.
So that's right, you showed me that. So the question was, where can we see the remains of the quarry? There was a quarry.
Okay.
If you actually go to the Toscano Hotel, we have a sample of the rock, but now I know your husband's going to steal it. But it's very heavy. So they used to quarry these very large rocks that they would use to make cobblestone streets and other things. It was actually currently where the Overlook and Montini trails are.
Okay. I was going to
And-
guess there.
Absolutely, you got it. Because you see the mountain, the one you
Yeah.
like. There was a quarry up there. Immigrants came from Italy and other parts of the world to work in the quarry. A man named Solomon Shocken was the person who started the quarry, and that was a lot of San Francisco streets. Came
I
here.
should have known that from the cemetery tour. The
you've done-
Historical Society cemetery tour.
Good tour.
So cool.
And the cemetery, ironically, the only thing not haunted in Sonoma.
Is the cemetery. Correct.
Because that's where you expect the ghosts to be.
And they're not falling
They're
for
not
it.
there. Like, we're at the community center. So basically, I talked to Richard Dale at the Sonoma Ecology Center, and he said the actual best trail is on the Spotted Fawn Trail. And he said the best way to note where it is to look at the little sign that says former site of the quarry. Thanks, Richard.
Can't miss it.
Right there. He says, it is signed and should be obvious. So you can go there, and the quarry is right there. You can check it out, and that's really kind of neat. Of people who like quarries, I did mention I grew up in South San Jose, where we had quicksilver mining or cinnabar mining,
Right.
and the cool thing there is it's basically all poison.
Oh.
and like scary mines. So I like.
How you feeling?
Fine,
Okay.
fine. It's
All
not a
right.
big. It's fine. The first fish I caught with my dad was on a creek.
And it had 3 eyes?
Well, basically, we
Okay.
caught it. He's like, "Don't eat that fish." I was like, why? He's like, this was all mercury tailing. So I'm like, yay! So yeah, that was that's the dog ate it. Okay, here we go. Next question we got: are the shops on the plaza open after 5 p.m.? I'd love to go shopping.
Oh, that's kind of hit or miss and a lot of miss.
Yeah, it is kind of hit or miss. Sometimes they're open later. Sometimes they're not. There are some
During Art Walk, you'll find some a little later.
Exactly. Art Walk will open later. And I'm hearing some on Napa Street will be open later coming up in June.
Oh,
So we're doing some experiment there over there by Wolf. Allie is Wolf. So for your dog, you can talk to Allie over there. Caddis, Chris from Caddis Wines will be open. So there will be some that are open a little bit later. But it is kind of hit or miss. But you know what? Go in there at 4:50 and start talking to them. They'll stay open.
they'll stay open.
You're right there. Do some shopping. This woman emailed us. Final question. She's from Sheboygan. Do you know where Sheboygan is?
Sheboygan, Ohio,
Close.
Iowa.
So
No,
close.
So far.
Keep going.
Michigan,
Oh, imagine the other mitten state.
give it to me.
Oh, yeah, don't you know?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. There you go. So, Kim from Sheboygan. You just pissed off Ohio, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. Oh, God. Yeah,
My aunt in Ohio will hear this too, so
I
I'm
know.
embarrassed.
So, you're in trouble now. Sheboygan, which is famous for its bratwurst.
Okay.
It's also the Malibu of the Midwest because people, and this is true, there is a good surfing break on Lake Michigan at Sheboygan.
I had no idea.
Now, this,
Surfing on a lake.
surfing on a lake. Well, because it gets cold, the big winds, and they kick up these huge surf. And this segment's been brought to you by Sheboygan Tourism. It's not just
Partnering
bratwurst.
soon.
Okay,
It's not just bratwurst.
here we go. Does the trolley stop at different wineries? Is it a hop on and hop off type of thing? Or do you pay for a guided tour with certain stops? So this is Sonoma Valley Wine Trolley.
Right.
And you might not know the answer to this.
I do not know the answer to this. I do know that when they break down in the middle of the street, it's kind of sad for everyone. But I see people on the trolley all the time having a lot of fun.
Like pushing the trolley. Okay, so we don't edit the podcast, so it does happen, which it does not, unless it does.
Unless it does.
So the trolley does go around to different wineries. I think it goes to 3 to 4 different wineries a day. It is not a hop on, hop off.
I don't even know where their hub is.
Well, it starts in the plaza at 10 a.m.
It starts in the
It
plaza.
takes off the
Okay.
plaza at 10 a.m. Yeah, and then it does a great tour. And actually, one of the drivers is a comedian,
Oh.
and he does improv.
Oh.
Yes.
That's probably why the car was stopped.
He was probably doing a bit.
Yes.
It's like, okay.
For TikTok.
Imagine you're pushing.
Imagine you're pushing a trolley.
All right, good. A little, but left-handed only. Okay, here we go. So it is not hop on, hop off. You hop off, but you get back on when the trolley's about to leave.
But because you're a participant.
You're a participant.
Not because you're choosing to.
Right. You want to be a part of the trolley.
Designated locations.
At all times. Right.
Keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle.
You. That's right. And remember when you used to go to Great America or whatever, put them up there. So do we have a link to the trolley? Yes, it's on the website. And her next and final question was, are Sonoma Valley Inn and El Pueblo Inn near the plaza?
Well, yes.
They are.
But El Pueblo is just a little farther.
It is.
But they're both walkable.
They are both walkable. I see people walking all the time. Sonoma Valley Inn's literally 2 blocks.
Right.
And actually, El Pueblo, we're here on 7th Street, and it's a block and a half away from us. So they're both very close to us.
Very close.
And you can definitely walk. The cool thing about Sonoma, very walkable town.
And nothing's very far. And also, El Pueblo is now very close to the new Lily's Outpost.
Have you been there?
I have not been there yet, but I've been watching the pictures. I see that it has Aloha Spirit, but flashing back to the cowboy boots, a lot of the people during the soft opening, I saw a lot of cowboy boots. You're on to something.
See? Now, however, I've heard that there are also cowboys in Hawaii. So maybe they're Hawaiian
that's the thing.
cowboys.
Now I think I need to go to Hawaii to do some research for us.
You do.
And I will report back on the
Well, save your receipt. We absolutely have to reimburse you for this trip.
Yes.
The research. So you haven't been to the new Aloha? It's called
I haven't yet.
Lily's?
Lily's Outpost, yes.
Yeah.
I've just seen all the pictures. It just opened last week.
I mean, it is
right there.
like a block and a half
It's just
away.
around the corner from us.
All I got to do is end this podcast.
Right?
We can walk over
and we
and
could be
get
there. Yes.
Did you bring your cow person boots?
I did not, but I did bring a ghost face mask. I don't know if that's appropriate attire.
We're going to be so welcomed. All right, Kat, you answered all the questions correctly. You did a great job. You're the hero. Kat, this has been wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being so shy around the microphone.
I mean, next time I'll try to talk more.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Just like the time you froze up singing Material Girl? No, wait.
Material Girl. But I was only dancing.
Just dancing.
It's not even like I forgot the words. I just couldn't move.
And now you've come so far.
Look at me go.
You're getting there. Okay, one more time. If people want information about the community center, where do they go?
SonomaCommunityCenter.org, or they can just stop in 276 East Napa Street in Sonoma.
Right.
Walk upstairs to room 200, which is right across from that famous banister.
Where you're reenacting the scenes.
And we'll reenact a scene with you.
And you can sign up for classes and learn more. And after you've done that, after you've gone to SonomaCommunityCenter.org or walked up the banister to find out what's going on, why don't you go to SonomaValley.com to check out deals, special offers, and events. Mom and Dad, I'm glad you're back safely. Stop traveling all over the world. You're making me jealous. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much.
Thank you.